It's actually pretty good off-road, even though... Hello, and this is a review of the 2021 VW Tiguan. I would like to talk about in this video that even though this is the most popular car in some countries for women, it's also okay for a man to have one.
To find out if that's true, and for an expert's opinion, I brought in Manly Dave, who runs this off-road centre in Gloucestershire. Dave is good at fixing things and also building and racing this.
This is obviously Dave, and the reason I've asked Dave to be in this film, well, there's three reasons. Number one, I think he's a bit more manly than me, right? Secondly, he's an instructor, so I'm not going to damage this, which is always good. And thirdly, if there are any women watching this, he's quite a good-looking bloke.
Even the cheapest Tiguan looks better and has an addictive new steering wheel. There's 520 litres in the back for manly tools or bits of wood, and there's more head and legroom in the rear, enough for me and Dave to sit comfortably.
And if that's not enough space, you can actually tow 2,500 kilograms, well actually up to 2,500 kilograms. This one will tow 1,600, and that's enough for maybe a caravan motocross bike, or if you're a girl, caravan motocross bike. No, not a pony, Dave. How does this compare to the last one? Interesting couple of things. Firstly, this feels a bit more car-like. Secondly, I think the seats in this one are a lot more comfortable. Thirdly, it does feel like there's more room in the back, and also the steering is softer. We actually did a Skoda T-Roc. I have a feeling I prefer driving this than that. The name Tiguan is actually derived from two animals. The first is an iguana, and the second is a tiger, and both of those animals are neither masculine or feminine, and this cuddly animal is Dave's dog. Now, there's a big community of people who use their Tigs kind of off-road, even though it's sort of not off-road. There is 8 inches of ground clearance, 26% approach angle and 23% departure angle. There is a slight problem with that though, and that is because this car has some decent room in it, the wheelbase is long. That means it's quite easy to beach it. That, along with the fact that these tyres are not really designed for off-road, they're like rubber skis. That's why I have a Dave.
Sensing Dave was getting a little bit bored, time for some more off-road driving to see how capable the two-wheel drive version is. Slowly, of course.
It's actually pretty good off-road. Even though... Brilliant. Okay.
Determined not to be emasculated by Dave, it was on to the hill climb.
Surely it's just a bit of clutch action, isn't it? Ah, right. I'm not sure whether I'd be able to make that or not. So...
Here is proof that this is a very easy car to live with. I actually took this to the beach with myself for a day out. Radar cruise all the way there, comfy seats, no silly noises from the drivetrain or the tyres, and a very nice quiet engine. Thank you, Volkswagen. No need for the diesel then. I do hope this bloke found his watch though.
Here's some interesting observations. So this does 40 miles to the gallon. So we did I think it was about a 6-hour test, 40 miles to the gallon. That was impressive. 1.5 petrol, and it's clever how things have moved on. It's because it's got this special cylinder technology, you see. When you look down here, it says 2-cylinder mode. Feel all proud of yourself. I don't need all those cylinders, and you need 2. Now on to some things I like. So we've got interior light pack here, and here it goes all the way around the car. You've got this nice new Volkswagen steering wheel, which is a massive highlight for me. I love the way it feels. I love this bit of aluminium, and of course these buttons feel absolutely brilliant to operate, not like the haptic ones, which can be a bit annoying. This is the virtual cockpit, but you don't have to have it. You can have the analog, because I think the analog looks okay. The heater controls, unfortunately, are digital, but I haven't had a problem with them yet. And you've got wireless CarPlay and wireless charging. The problem with all of that is that none of it's standard. For example, the cheapest one of these, which is a manual, 130 horsepower, doesn't have auto radar cruise or folding mirrors, no navigation, no parking sensors, and no tow bar. It's basically one of those. Naturally then, there's obviously a problem. And that problem is the T-Roc, because the T-Roc is not only a really good looking car, but it's extremely popular, and you can customize it. You can have different colored roofs. You can't quite do that with one of these. So the toss-up will be, do you get a T-Roc with more stuff on it, or do you get one of these? Something like that would keep me awake for hours. If you have registered for WeConnect, here are 3 things you can do with your phone. The first is it's a key, which is very good. The second is that you can do things remotely from inside the house. So preheat the car on a cold day, very nice. And the third, which I think is the most clever, is you can send the digital key to your spouse so she can open the car.
Or he, definitely or he. Time for a final verdict anyway, because I liked it so much. I wanted Dave to have a go to see what he thought of it, and also it was a good opportunity for us to do some male bonding.
How much do you reckon one of these is then? I'll have a look on Leasing.com. Actually very cheap, £237 a month for one of the cheapest ones. Cheap that, isn't it, for what it is? See yourself in one of these, or?